There's now reporting that FBI director saying there was talk of jihad online between these two around 2013.
Yeah.
And now this neighbor, he claims there was a potential plot in 2012. This is before ISIS.
That is before the caliphate was declared. It's not accurate to say that they were radicalized by ISIS. It means they were radical before that. What it tells me is what I have been telling you and everyone else all along, that hundreds and hundreds of thousands of Muslims are radicalized.
Around the world.
Around the world, and in the United States of America as well. The big question for us is, and again, I don't like the word radical or radicalized. These are people who have become more pious and who tend to observe Islam literally. They take the Quran literally. They observe, they try to follow in the example of the Prophet Muhammad literally. That's what we've come to call radical and extreme. And that the people who have that mentality and that mindset are not a minority, and they're not a fringe minority.
And they don't necessarily need a group like ISIS. I mean, that might sort of give them focus, it might give them a name to claim allegiance to, but I mean, as you said, this was happening before ISIS had a caliphate.
Exactly. I think these people were already, they already believed what they executed. And I think the big problem is because the number of people who believe in this within Muslim communities and families, definitely not all, but it is so large that these individuals who want to take, an action, to take it beyond believing and beyond practicing, but actually want to kill people, they have a large enough group to hide in.
Do you believe, I mean, when people say, well, look, we had no idea, friends, family, I mean, it does seem hard to believe that somebody comes up with an idea like this, a plan like this, and doesn't talk to others about it, whether those people believe they'll act out on it or not, or whether they're somewhat sympathetic, or whatever the case may be.
I don't believe it. It is the same people, some of the families who say when their children sneak off to ISIS and they're caught at an airport, or when they've gone, say, oh my goodness, I didn't know that my child was planning to do this. I think that there is a great deal, and here is, the uncomfortable truth really, there is a great deal of consensus in terms of belief. The family, or some of the family members, may not want themselves to execute an act of jihad, but if a fellow believer is doing that and he's investing in martyrdom, then who are you as a believer to stop him, or even worse, to report him to the infidel authorities? It's once you understand that mentality and that process, then we can get to, okay, how can we perhaps persuade these people that these ideas are bad? But to do that, we have to call a spade a spade.
When you hear Donald Trump say, ban all Muslims from coming to the United States until we figure out what the heck is going on, whatever actually that means,
yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I was a politician, and I know that when a politician or a candidate makes remarks like this, and it resonates, that it's not only what the candidate is saying. What I think of it is, I think it's a bad idea. I don't think we should do what Trump is saying we do, even if we could do it. I don't think we can, but even if we could do it, I think it's a bad approach. And it creates this false promise where a large number of American voters think that if they elect Trump, that he has the solution to this long-term ideological war.
You didn't frankly have the balls to put country before party.